The sun was hot above the dead land. No trees, no water, just broken rocks and sand everywhere. Rek walked slowly, his boots heavy from dust. His body was weak, his hands were shaking. He had not eaten for 2 days. His stomach growled again. "This planet is trying to kill me," he whispered. 4 months ago, Rek's ship crashed on this alien world. It was supposed to be a simple supply mission. Drop off cargo, scan the land, and return home. But something went wrong. A storm hit his ship in orbit. He lost control and crash-landed. Since then, he was alone. His radio was broken. No contact with Earth. No one came to help. Rek survived by searching the ruins of old alien buildings. He found small things, tools, wires, energy cells, but food was rare. Sometimes he found dry root vegetables or packets of alien paste. Most of the time, he drank filtered water and chewed old protein bars from his emergency kit. Now, his kit was empty. He walked toward a rocky hill. He saw something strange there, part of a metal box sticking out of the ground. It was covered in dirt and sand, but its corners were sharp. It looked strong, not natural. Rek's heart beat faster. "Maybe it's a storage crate," he said. "Maybe food?" He rushed forward, dropped to his knees, and began digging. His fingers hurt, but he didn't stop. Bit by bit, the crate came into view. It was black and smooth. Symbols were printed on the side, alien letters glowing faint blue. He took out his multi-tool and pressed it against the lock. Click. The crate hissed as the seal broke. A cool mist came out. Rek opened the lid slowly, expecting to see food packages or sealed bottles, but instead, he saw eyes, glowing blue eyes staring up at him. Rek jumped back in shock, falling to the ground. A small figure inside the crate moved. A head appeared, round, smooth, and pale blue. Hair like silver thread fell over the child's shoulders. Thin arms pulled a small body up. The child looked at Rek, then, in a soft, clear voice, said one word. "Father?" Rek blinked. "What? What did you say?" he asked, confused. The child stared at him again. "Father?" she repeated, her voice full of hope. "No," Rek said, shaking his head. I'm not your father." But the child didn't seem afraid. She smiled and reached out her hand. Rek stood slowly and looked inside the crate. It was soft inside, like a sleep pod. There were folded clothes, a small glowing cube, and nothing else. No food. No tech. Just this strange small child. She looked, about 5 years old in human terms. But something was different. Her skin was blue, her ears pointed slightly back. Her eyes had no white, just glowing circles of light. Still, her voice sounded human. Rek swallowed hard. "Can you understand me?" The girl nodded. "Your father. You came back." "No," he said again, softer this time. "I don't know you. I just found this crate." The girl tilted her head. "But I saw you. In the dreams." Rek's heart skipped. "What dreams?" She touched her forehead. "Every night, I saw your face. You were kind. You were looking for me." Rek felt cold. This wasn't normal. This wasn't possible. "What's your name?" he asked. The child smiled again. "Mira." That name didn't sound alien. Rek looked around. The desert was quiet. No wind, no movement. Just him and this mysterious child. He took a deep breath and knelt beside the crate. "Mira," he said, "are you hurt?" She shook her head. "Are you hungry?" She nodded. Of course she was hungry. She had been locked inside a crate, maybe for days, maybe longer. He didn't know how she survived. Rek held out his hand. "Come on, I don't have much, but I'll help you." Mira reached out and grabbed his hand. Her skin felt warm. Her touch was gentle. Together, they walked back toward Rek's small shelter, a broken escape pod near a cliffside. Inside, he gave her water and half of his last energy bar. She ate slowly, carefully. Rek watched her. He still didn't understand. Where did she come from? Why was she locked in a crate? How did she know English? And why did she call him father? Maybe someone used human DNA to make her. Maybe she was part of a secret alien project. Or maybe she really believed he was her father. Rek wasn't sure. What scared him more? That she might be lying or that she might be right. Outside, the sky darkened. Twin moons rose above the cliffs. Inside the shelter, Mira curled up on a blanket and closed her eyes. Before falling asleep, she whispered one last time, "Thank you for coming back, Papa." Rek sat near the door, holding his last tool in one hand. He wasn't alone anymore, and something told him. His life had just changed forever. Rek woke up early. The sky outside the pod was still dark. Cold wind blew through the cracks in the metal walls. He sat up slowly and looked around. Mira was still sleeping, wrapped in a thin blanket. Her silver hair glowed faintly under the small lamp. She looked peaceful, like any human child. But Rek knew she wasn't fully human. He stood up quietly and opened a small storage box. Inside was his last power cell and a half-full water filter. He sighed. "This won't last long," he whispered to himself. Rek looked at Mira again. Why did she call him father? Why could she speak perfect English? How did she survive inside that crate? Too many questions. He stepped outside. The sun was rising over the hills, painting the sky orange. Far in the distance, he saw tall ruins, maybe an old alien research center. He had never searched that area before. Maybe there was food, maybe answers. He walked back inside and found Mira sitting up. "Good morning," she said with a small smile. "Morning," Rek replied. "Did you sleep well?" She nodded. "Yes, I had no bad dreams." "That's good," he said, sitting beside her. "You told me you saw me in your dreams." "What did you mean?" Mira touched her forehead. "Every time I closed my eyes in the crate, I saw you. You were walking through fire. You were calling my name. You said, 'Hold on, I'm coming.'" Rek's heart beat faster. He had never seen this child before, but she talked like they had known each other forever. "Mira," he said slowly, "I don't think I'm your real father." She tilted her head. "Maybe not by blood, but you came. You're here now." He couldn't answer. Her words touched something deep inside him. Rek had no family, no children, no home to return to. His life was made of missions, silence, and survival. And now, this small girl was looking at him like he was the center of her world. He stood up and grabbed his gear. "We need supplies," he said. "There's a place I haven't checked yet." Mira stood too. "Can I come?" "It's dangerous." "I'm not afraid." Rek paused, then nodded. "Stay close. Don't touch anything unless I say." Mira smiled and followed him out of the pod. They walked across dry land for hours. Rocks, broken walls, and bones of long-dead animals filled the path. Mira stayed quiet but alert, looking around with wide eyes. After a while, Rek asked, "Where are you from, Mira?" She pointed to the sky. "Not here." "Which planet?" "I don't know its name, but it was bright, warm. There were others like me, and there was a man who looked like you." Rek stopped. "What did you say?" "He looked like you, but older. He held me in his arms. He and my mother talked about the project. Then they were gone." Rek felt a strange cold inside. The project? He had heard that name before. During his early missions, he read something in the military files. A secret plan. alien and human scientists working together, trying to make something new, a life form, with traits from both species, a child. But the war ended it all. Humans and aliens split. The records were deleted, the labs destroyed. Could Mira be the last part of that project? They reached the ruins by midday. The building was large, made of black stone and steel. Vines covered the walls. Strange symbols were carved around the door. Rex scanned the area. No movement. Quiet. "Stay behind me," he said. They entered the ruin. It smelled like dust and old fire. Broken glass and metal littered the floor. In the back, Rex found a control panel. It was damaged but still glowing. He touched it carefully. A screen lit up. Alien text appeared. Mira stepped forward and placed her hand on the panel. Suddenly, the screen changed. Human text appeared. Subject 07. Status: alive. Backup DNA: human donor. Classified. Crate location: hidden. Awaiting. Retrieval. Rex stared at the words. "Mira, you were part of this," he whispered. She looked up. "I know. I was made to bring peace, but they hid me when the war started. Do you remember your parents?" "Only pieces. My mother had soft eyes. My father, I never saw his full face. Only dreams." Rex stepped back, heart racing. Maybe Mira's father really was a human soldier. Maybe even someone like him, or maybe it was him. He touched his chest. A long scar ran down his side, one he got during a mission years ago. That same mission had strange gaps in his memory. A place with lights, waking up on a medical table. The doctor said he had been injured and rescued. But what if something else happened? Before he could speak, Mira gasped. "Something's coming." Rex turned. The ground shook slightly. A low hum filled the air. He pulled out his scanner. A signal was moving toward them. Not human. "Time to go," he said. They ran out of the building and down the hill. Behind them in the sky, small flying machines appeared. Alien drones. They scanned the area with blue lights. "They're looking for me," Mira said. Rex gritted his teeth. "Then we'll make sure they don't find you." He picked her up and ran toward the cliffs. The hunt had begun. Rex ran as fast as he could, holding Mira close to his chest. The wind blew hard and the sand whipped around them, but he didn't stop. Behind them, the alien drones hovered in the air, scanning with sharp blue lights. They ducked behind large rocks. Rex placed Mira down gently and looked over the edge. The drones were still searching near the ruins. "They haven't seen us yet," he whispered. Mira's eyes were wide. "They're here for me. I can feel it." Rex nodded. "We need to hide. I know a place." They moved through narrow paths, between stone walls, deeper into the cliffs. Rex had explored these parts before. There was an old cave, hidden, dry, and safe. He had used it once to escape a sandstorm. By the time they reached it, Rex's legs were weak, and Mira was coughing from dust. Inside, it was dark and cool. Rex turned on a small light and placed it near the wall. Mira sat down, tired. She leaned against the stone. Rex handed her a bottle of water. "Here, small sips." She drank slowly, then looked up at him. "Why are they afraid of me?" Rex sat down beside her. "I don't think they're afraid. I think they want you back." "But why?" Rex paused. He thought about what they saw on the screen inside the alien building. Subject 07, backup DNA, human donor. Mira was not just any child. She was part of something much bigger. "You're special," he said softly. "You were made by both humans and aliens." "Maybe they don't want you to be free." Mira hugged her knees. "I don't want to go with them. I want to stay with you." Rex looked at her. Her voice was small, but her words were full of trust. He had lived most of his life alone. Missions, orders, survival. No one had ever looked at him the way Mira did, with faith, like he was someone who mattered. He smiled a little. Then we stay together, no matter what. Mira smiled too. Later that night, Mira fell asleep in the cave. Rex stayed awake, watching the shadows. His mind was full of questions. Was it really just a dream she saw? Or had she somehow connected to him in the past? Was he part of that secret project long ago? He searched through his old data pad. It had records from his early missions. Many were damaged or incomplete. But after searching for an hour, he found a strange file. It was a mission report marked Red Level Secure. He opened it. Mission log. Human Alien Peace Initiative Site. Joint Lab. Planet Epsilon 4. Objective. DNA sync testing. Subject 07. Note. Human donor suffered memory loss after procedure. Subject stored in cryo unit for safety. Retrieval mission canceled. Due to conflict outbreak. Rex's hand froze. Planet Epsilon 4. That was the same planet he had visited 5 years ago. The mission where he woke up in a field hospital, confused and hurt. The doctors said it was from a crash, but he never saw the crash. His body had a strange scar that wasn't from a regular wound. And now, Mira was here. Subject 07. I was the donor, he whispered. It all made sense now. He wasn't Mira's father by blood, not in the usual way, but she was made using his DNA. That's why she saw him in her dreams. That's why she called him father. That's why she felt connected to him. Rek looked at her sleeping. She was breathing slowly, peaceful, again. He stood and walked to the cave entrance. The drones were gone, at least for now, but they would come back. And this time, they might bring more than machines. The next morning, Rek and Mira ate the last piece of dried root he had saved. It wasn't much, but enough to give them a little energy. We need to find a better place, Rek said. Somewhere. Harder to track. And I need to send a message. To the humans? Mira asked. Yes. Someone out there must be listening. If we reach a signal tower, I can send a call for help. Mira looked scared. What if they don't believe us? They'll believe me. I was one of them. They left the cave and traveled northeast. Rek remembered an old communications tower near the broken canyons. It had been offline when he checked last year, but maybe he could fix it. The journey was long. They crossed dry valleys, jumped over broken walkways, and climbed steep rocks. Mira was strong for her size. She didn't cry or complain. She simply followed, always staying close. At last, they saw the tall metal shape of the comms, tower rising from a cliff edge. Half of it was broken and the dish was hanging sideways, but the base looked safe. They reached the door. Rek pried it open and stepped inside. Dust and silence. He found the main panel. Dead. But a small backup core was still blinking faintly. He opened his pack and took out the power cell, the last one he had. No going back now, he said. He plugged it in. The panel lit up. Rek typed a short message. Human survivor. Alien child recovered. Hybrid life form confirmed. Requesting extraction. Urgent. He sent it. Now they had to wait. That night, Mira sat by the window looking at the stars. You think someone will come? She asked. I hope so, Rek said. Mira looked at him. Even if they don't. I'm glad I found you. Rek put a hand on her shoulder. And I'm glad I found you too. Outside, the wind howled. In the distance, red lights blinked in. The dark sky. Something was coming. But Rek wasn't alone anymore, and this time he would fight for her. The air was quiet around the broken communication tower. Rek sat by the wall, checking his small tracker again and again. The message was sent. The signal had gone out. but no reply came. Mira sat beside him, hugging her knees. Her silver hair blew softly in the wind coming through the cracks in the tower. "Do you think the humans will come soon?" she asked. Rek nodded, though he wasn't sure. "They will. Maybe not today, but soon." Mira looked up at the sky. "Something else is coming." Rek frowned. "What do you feel?" She closed her eyes. Dark thoughts. Cold. "They're near." Rek stood up and looked through his scope. The horizon was clear for now, but Mira had not been wrong before. She could feel things, see things. She had powers Rek didn't understand. He walked over to the main panel again. The screen still blinked "Message sent," but that was hours ago. Suddenly a low sound filled the air. Not a machine, but something from above. A ship. Rek ran outside and looked up. A dark alien ship hovered in the clouds. It was large, shaped like a bird with wide wings. The engines made no fire, only a soft humming noise. Slowly, it moved across the sky, scanning the ground. Mira came beside him. Her eyes were glowing faint blue. "They're here," she said. "We have to go," Rek replied quickly. They grabbed their gear and ran from the tower, moving into the nearby hills. Rek knew the caves there were deep and full of old mining tunnels. As they ran, the alien ship sent down small drones, round flying machines with bright blue lights. They scanned the ground, searching for life signs. One of the drones turned toward Rek and Mira. Its light passed over them. It stopped. Rek fired his pulse gun. A clean shot. The drone exploded, but now the others were coming. Rek and Mira reached the cave entrance. He pushed a rock aside, and they slipped inside. Darkness surrounded them, but Rek knew the path. They went deep underground, far from the drones, far from the light. They stopped in a wide chamber. Rek turned on a small lamp. Mira sat down, breathing hard. "They're not just machines," she said. "There are minds behind them. I can feel them watching." Rek sat beside her. "Who are they? Scientists? Soldiers?" "I don't know," Mira whispered. "But they're the ones who made me. Or helped make me." Rek remembered the lab report. Subject 07, human DNA, Peace Project, the ones chasing them. Now we're likely part of that project. They had created Mira, then left her in a crate when the war started. Now, they wanted her back. But why now? After all this time? The next morning, Rek used his small scanner to check above ground. The alien ship had landed near the tower. Strange. Figures moved around it. Tall, thin beings in golden armor. "They're not fighters," Rek said. "They look like scientists." He watched closely. One of them placed a hand on the ground. A light spread in a circle, scanning the area. Rek turned to Mira. "We can't stay here. They'll find us." Where will we go? Rek thought. He remembered a small base far south, once used for weather reports. Maybe it had a stronger signal system. "If we reach that place," he said, "we can call for help again. Maybe even reach a human ship directly." Mira stood. "Then let's go." Before leaving, Rek placed small bombs near the cave entrance. Old devices, but still working. If someone followed them, it would buy time. They traveled for hours, staying, off open paths. Mira didn't speak much, but Rek could see she was tired. He carried her for part of the way, holding her close like a real father would. As they neared the South Hills, Mira suddenly said, "They're close." Rek turned. From behind the rocks, tall golden figures appeared. They weren't running, just walking slowly toward Rek and Mira, as if they already knew they would catch them. Rek raised his weapon. One of the beings stepped forward and spoke. Its voice was calm and clear, but not mechanical. "Do not fear," it said. "We will not harm the child. She's not going anywhere with you," Rek said firmly. The figure paused. She is ours, made by our hands, and yours. Rek's eyes narrowed. You left her in a crate, alone. I found her. I kept her safe. The being tilted its head. You do not understand. She is the future, a bridge between our worlds. We hid her to protect her. Now we need her again. No, Rek said. She's not your experiment anymore. She's a person, and she stays with me. Suddenly, Mira stepped forward. The air around her shimmered. A blue light grew from her skin. Stop, she said. Her voice echoed strangely. I don't belong to you. The golden beings froze. She's bonding, one of them whispered. Her powers are growing. Rek stepped in front of Mira. Leave, or I make you leave. The air grew tense. Then Mira raised her hand. A wave of energy shot out. The ground shook. Dust flew. The golden figures stumbled back. Rek grabbed Mira's hand. Let's go! They ran toward the hills. Behind them, the aliens did not follow. They were afraid now. That night, Rek and Mira reached the old weather base. It was broken, but the main dish was still standing. Rek worked hard to fix the panel, connecting wires and rerouting power. Finally, the screen lit up. A signal bar appeared. Come on, Rek whispered. He typed quickly. Emergency! Hybrid child in danger. Alien creators in pursuit. Requesting human ship. Immediate pickup. He pressed send. Mira leaned against him. Did it work? We'll find out soon. They sat in silence. Outside, the stars were bright. Mira looked up and said softly, Will they ever stop chasing me? Rek put his arm around her. Let them come. I'm not giving you up. The air was still as Rek and Mira sat inside the broken weather base. Outside, the wind carried dust over the hills. The stars above were bright, but Rek didn't feel calm. He kept looking at the signal screen. It blinked slowly, showing message sent. Awaiting response. Mira was quiet. She sat close, her head resting on Rek's arm. Her silver hair moved slightly in the breeze coming from the broken door. Then the silence broke. A soft hum came from the sky. Rek stood up fast and looked out the window. Another ship was landing. This one was larger than the last. It had smooth, white metal and glowing lines across the surface. It looked like it wasn't built for war. It looked like a lab. The ship slowly landed near the base. A ramp opened. Rek raised his pulse gun. Mira stood too, but she didn't look scared. She looked, Come, they've come, she said. Rek nodded. Stay behind me. Figures stepped out of the ship. They were tall, thin, and wore long robes instead of armor. Their faces were not hidden. Their eyes were large and full of light. They looked old, wise, but strange. The leader stepped forward and raised a hand in peace. Human, he said. Do not fear. We are not here to fight. Rek kept his weapon ready. You chased us, sent drones. You call that peace? The being lowered his hand. We were afraid for her. The child is important to us. She is the last of our shared work. We did not want her harmed. She was locked in a crate, Rek growled. Alone. Forgotten. We had no choice, the alien said. The war started. The humans turned away. The project was shut down. We could not destroy her. So, we hid her in sleep, waiting for the right time. Mira stepped forward now. And now you want me back? Yes, the alien replied. You are the bridge between us. You were made with care. Part of your mind is ours. Part of your heart is his. He looked at Rek. Rek lowered his weapon slightly. You used my DNA. The alien nodded. You were chosen. Strong, kind, and brave. Your body accepted the process. You were injured during a mission. We saved you. You don't remember everything. Rek remembered the scars, the missing time, the dreams. I thought I was alone, Mira said softly. But I saw him. I saw his face in my dreams. The alien spoke again. That is because he is your connection, your bond, not just a father by blood, but now by heart. Rek looked at Mira. Her eyes shimmered with emotion. She stays with me, Rek said firmly. I won't let you take her. The alien hesitated. She is becoming powerful. Her gifts are waking. If not trained, she could lose control. She needs guidance. I'll help her, Rek said. You are not enough, the alien replied. Her mind is part of a system older than your kind. She was built to connect, to lead, to unite two broken worlds. Mira looked between them. What if I don't? Want to lead? The alien paused. Then you may choose your own path, but you must understand what you are. Suddenly, Mira stepped forward. Her hands glowed faint blue. Her voice was calm. I want to know the truth. The alien looked surprised. You are ready? I want to see, she said. The alien touched his own forehead, then gently reached out and touched hers. In that moment, Mira's eyes closed. Her body stood still, surrounded by soft light. Rek moved to help her, but the alien stopped him. She is only remembering, he said. Images flashed in Mira's mind. Scientists, soldiers, peace talks, war. She saw herself floating in a glowing tube. She saw her mother, an alien woman with kind eyes. She saw a man who looked like Rek, standing. Beside her mother, smiling. And then, fire. Explosions. Running. Hiding. Silence. Mira opened her eyes slowly. A tear rolled down her cheek. I remember now, she said. Everything. Rek stepped forward. Are you all right? She nodded. Yes, but I still want to stay with you. The alien leader looked at Rek. Then let her stay. But know this, others will come. Some will want to study her. Some may fear her. I'll protect her, Rek said, no matter what. The alien gave a slow bow. We believe you, and if you ever call us, we will answer. With that, the alien group turned and returned to their ship. The ramp closed and the ship lifted off, slowly rising into the sky. It flew away without making a sound. Rek and Mira stood alone again, watching the stars. Mira looked up. I thought they would try to take me. They knew they couldn't, Rek replied. I'm not just a child anymore, Mira said. I'm something more, and I'm scared. Rek knelt beside her. You don't have to be. Whatever you become, I'll be here. Mira hugged him tightly. Above them, the night sky shimmered with quiet stars. They were not done yet, but they had faced the ones who made her and walked away free. The wind blew softly across the empty land as Rek and Mira walked back toward the hills. The night was calm, and stars watched silently from above. The alien ship was gone, but Rek knew it was not the end. Something had changed. Mira walked beside him quietly. She looked older somehow, not in body, but in her eyes. After seeing the memories from the past, something inside her had awakened. They stopped near a large rock, and Rek set down his pack. Let's rest here for the night, he said. Mira nodded and sat down. She looked up at the stars. I saw my real parents, she said. In the visions. Rek looked at her. What were they like? My mother was kind. She smiled when she looked at me. My father? He looked like you. Same eyes, same voice. Maybe it really was you, before you. Lost your memory? Rek didn't answer. He wasn't sure what to believe. But deep inside, he felt something strong, a connection. Whether by blood or bond, Mira was his daughter now. She leaned her head on his shoulder. You didn't have to take me, but you did. You were alone, Rek said. No one deserves to be left in a crate. You saved me, she whispered. Not just my body. You gave me a reason to live. Rek placed his arm around her. And you gave me one too. The next morning, Rek checked the small scanner. A signal was coming in, a human one. His heart jumped. He pressed a few buttons. The message was short but clear. Human ship en route. Arrival in 16 hours. Hold position. Rek smiled. They're coming, he told Mira. Her eyes lit up. A real human ship? Yes. We'll be going home. Mira looked away for a moment. What if they don't want me? Rek knelt beside her. Then they'll have to go through me. They returned to the old weather base. Rek cleaned the area as much as he could. He placed a bright signal flare on top of the roof so the human ship could find them easily. Mira helped him set up a small fire using dry roots and wood. The warmth was nice. It reminded Rek of the rare calm moments during his life. Rare, but important. As the sun went down, the ground began to rumble slightly. Rek stood quickly, gun in hand. What now? From the north, he saw another group of ships, but they weren't human. They were alien patrol crafts, fast, sharp, dangerous. Rek's jaw tightened. They didn't give up. Mira stood beside him. They don't want peace. Not like the others. Rek nodded. These aren't scientists. These are hunters. The alien ships landed far off, but Rek knew they'd be here soon. He moved quickly, setting up small traps near the entrance of the base. We'll hold them off, he told Mira. But there are too many, she said. I don't care. We'll try. She grabbed his arm. I don't want you to get hurt. He smiled gently. That's a father's job? Mira closed her eyes and placed her hand over her heart. A soft blue light spread around her. She breathed deeply, and the ground shook slightly. Mira? Rek stepped back, worried. She opened her glowing eyes. They're coming fast. I can feel their minds. Angry, cold, but I can stop them. Rek looked shocked. How? I don't know. But something inside me is changing, growing stronger. The hum of alien engines grew louder. The sky turned red from the lights of the ships. Rek took his position behind a broken wall, gun ready. Mira stood in the open. Rek shouted, Mira, get back! But she didn't move. The first alien drone flew in. It scanned the area and fired a blast. Before the blast could hit, Mira raised her hand. A blue shield appeared in the air. The energy wave stopped like it hit a wall. More drones came. Mira's body glowed brighter. She lifted both hands, and the air twisted around her. The ground shook harder. Energy pulsed from her body like waves. In water. The drones stopped flying. They hovered, confused. Mira spoke, and her voice echoed across the land. Stop. I am not your enemy, but I will not be taken. The drones turned around and flew back. Rek couldn't believe his eyes. The enemy just left. Mira dropped to her knees, tired. Rek ran to her. Are you okay? She nodded weakly. It takes a lot, but I'm getting better at it. You pushed them away. I didn't destroy them, I just showed them I wasn't afraid. Rek helped her stand. You're stronger than anyone I've ever met. She smiled. Maybe, but I'm not strong without you. Hours passed. The stars returned. The wind was quiet again. And then, a light appeared in the sky. It wasn't alien. It was blue and white with markings of Earth. The human ship. It flew slowly, scanning the signal Rek had sent. The ship hovered, and a voice came from the speaker. This is Captain Laura of the Hopewind. We received your signal, preparing to land. Rek and Mira stood side by side, watching as the ship touched the ground. A ramp lowered. Human soldiers in gray armor walked out. One of them stepped forward. Name? The officer asked. Rek, he said. Human scavenger. Survivor. And this. He placed a hand on Mira's shoulder. "This is my daughter." The officer looked surprised. "We were told about an alien child. Is she—" "She's human too," Rex said. "More than you know." The officer looked at Mira. "You're safe now. We'll take you home." Mira smiled but looked up at Rex. He nodded. "Go on. I'll be right behind you." As they walked up the ramp, Mira held Rex's hand tightly. "Papa?" she asked. "Yes? Do you think we'll really be safe now?" Rex looked into the stars. "If not, we'll fight again. Together." The Hope Wind hummed softly as it drifted through space. The crew moved around the ship, preparing for their next destination, but Rex and Mira stayed in the small observation room at the back of the ship, staring out at the stars. Mira was silent, her eyes wide as she looked out into the unknown. She was free now, but the journey ahead was still full of mystery. Rex stood beside her, his arms crossed as he watched the stars move past. The last few days had been a blur. The alien ships had retreated. The humans had come, and now he and Mira were heading to a new place, a place where they could be safe. "You're quiet," Rex said, breaking the silence. Mira turned to him. "I'm thinking." "About what?" "About everything," she said softly. "The aliens, my memories, the dreams. You." Rex smiled, a little. "I know. It's a lot to understand." "Do you think I'm really human?" she asked, her voice small. Rex knelt beside her. "I think you're more human than anyone I've ever known. You've got the strength to choose your own path. You've got the heart to protect others." Mira smiled slightly. "But I'm not like other people." Rex's smile faded. "None of us are. But that doesn't mean you don't belong. You belong right here. With me." She nodded and leaned her head on his shoulder. "I want to stay." "With you, Papa? You will? Always?" The ship continued its journey through the stars. Rex and Mira spent their days in the small room, talking, resting, and learning more about each other. Sometimes the crew would come to check on them, but Rex kept them at a distance. This was their time. They didn't need anyone else to tell them what to do. Mira's powers were growing stronger. She could control the energy around her with ease now. But Rex noticed something else in her deep connection to both the human and alien sides of her. "You're not just part of both worlds," Rex told her one night. "You've got the best of both, the human spirit, the alien wisdom." Mira smiled. "Maybe that's why I can feel both sides. I understand both." Rex nodded. "That's why you're so important. You can bring them together." Mira looked at him curiously. "Who?" "Humans and aliens," Rex said. "They've been fighting for too long, but you're the bridge between them." Mira thought for a moment, then said, "I don't want to fight. I don't want to be anyone's weapon." "You won't be," Rex said firmly. "You'll be a leader who shows both sides that there's a way to live in peace." Mira looked out the window again. "I want to help. I want to make things better." "You will," Rex said, his voice full of confidence. "And I'll be right beside you every step of the way." The days passed, and the Hope Wind made its way through the vast emptiness of space. The crew remained busy with their duties, but Rex and Mira kept to themselves. They were safe for now. One day, the captain of the ship came to them. "Rex, Mira," Captain Laura said, her voice calm but firm. "We've received new orders. We're heading to a human colony on the outer rim. They've been dealing with some alien attacks." Rex's heart sank. "Are the aliens still a threat?" Laura nodded. "Yes, but there's something different this time. It's not just an attack, it's an invasion." Rex turned to Mira. "You're ready for this, right?" Mira hesitated, then nodded. "I'll do whatever I can to help," Rex smiled. "I knew you would." The Hope Wind arrived at the colony a few days later. The situation was worse than they had expected. Alien ships were hovering over the colony, sending down beams of light to attack the buildings below. The crew quickly set up a defense plan, but Rek and Mira knew it wasn't enough. The aliens were relentless. "We have to stop them," Rex said, his voice filled with determination. "But we can't do it alone." Mira stood beside him, her hands glowing with blue light. "I'll help. I can stop them." Rek looked at her with pride. "We'll do it together." They made their way to the colony's main plaza, where the alien ships were landing. Mira held her hand out, and the air around her shimmered. A blue shield formed in front of them, blocking the alien beams. The aliens turned their focus to Mira. She stood tall, her eyes glowing with power. The ground beneath her feet cracked and glowed as energy surged through her. Rex stood by her side, his gun ready. "We won't let you take them." Mira raised her hands, and the aliens paused. She spoke, her voice echoing through the plaza. "Stop. This is not the way." The aliens hesitated. "You don't have to fight," Mira continued. "We can find a way to live together. We don't need to destroy each other." The alien leader looked at her, its eyes narrowing. "You are not one of us. You are not one of them." "I'm both," Mira said, her voice steady. "I'm a bridge. I'm a new path." Rex stood proudly beside her. "We're not giving up. Not now. Not ever." The alien leader stepped forward, its voice low and angry. "Then you will die." Before it could strike, Mira raised her hands again. Energy swirled around her. A beam of blue light shot out, striking. The alien leader. It faltered, then stopped. The alien leader's voice echoed. "You have defeated us." Mira lowered her hands, the glow fading. "I don't want to fight, but I will protect the people I love." The remaining aliens began to retreat, leaving the colony behind. Rek looked at Mira, his heart swelling. With pride. "You did it," Mira smiled. "We did it." As the alien ships retreated into the sky, Rek knew one thing for sure. They were no longer just survivors. They were something more, a family, ready to face whatever came next, together.